Money Monday is brought to you by Anderson Brothers Bank.
We all know money doesn't grow on trees, but there is a way to beef up your coffers with a smart approach to your cash. Joining us with ways investors and business owners can thrive during a pandemic is Patrick Traverse, certified financial planner with Money Coach. It's good to see you again.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so what do you advise folks to do? They've got a few extra dollars in their pocket. Do they invest now? Do they wait? What do you think?
Well, it depends on the plan. So depending on what that money is for, I think the closer that you are to your goal, what the plan for that money will dictate, how you should invest. If it's for a long-term plan, then maybe trying to invest a little bit at a time, in these markets could be a good idea. But if the money is needed, so within the next year or so, it might not be a good time, as the markets, as we know now or at any time, so can be up or down on any day. So in the short term, it might not be a good idea.
Yeah, I think it's tempting for a lot of people to want to invest when stocks are looking to be pretty reasonable, but then it's such an unpredictable time that you never know if you're going to need that nest egg to sustain you in the months or year to come. But let's just say that you've got a little extra cash hanging out that you would like to invest. What do you see are some of the investment opportunities that people should be focusing on?
Well, it depends on the strategy as well. So what does the person, I really think is a good place to stock their money? So depending if they are a value investor, which means that they would like to invest low price or in high in value stocks or industries, it could be a good place to stock your money. Or there's some investors that like to invest in momentum. So what are the things that are flying high and that are screaming, like higher in these markets? So might be a good place. So depending on the type of risk that the investor is willing to take, so it's going to depend on what they want to invest in.
Well, I'm curious, what kind of industries are looking doable at this time?
Well, I really like in these, so during the pandemic and in these times, as things are evolving and people are staying home and doing things from home, there's some funds out there that invest in esports or online shopping. So you can really dig down now with these ETFs or exchange traded funds into the type of industry that you feel might be a good option. So depending on the type of economy that we're in.
And when we hear about the airline industry potentially laying off tens of thousands of their employees, is an airline a smart way to invest your money?
Well, I would believe that over the long term that we will get back into flying around and traveling. Again, it depends on the plan. If it's short term and we're looking to invest the money to be used in the next year or two, I'm not sure it could be a great idea, but over a long term, it could be a great opportunity to buy an industry or a stock at a low price.
Okay, well, when we come back after the break, I want you to tell us what you're advising some of your clients to do, where you're advising them to put their money, and maybe some of our viewers watching can take a page out of your book, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We are back with Patrick Traverse on this Money Monday, talking about the best way to invest your money during this crazy, crazy time. So Patrick, for your clients that you currently have on your books, what are you advising them to do? Where are you advising them to put some of their money?
Actually, we have some sort of a process when we help our clients with investments. First of all, as a planner, we always create a plan. So depending, again, what they want to accomplish, then we take a look at when is the timeline. Once we know that, then the industries that I really look into are what I feel is probably an industry of the future. So a lot of green energy, a lot of online, shopping, a lot of things that people are using in technology, like biotech. So there's a lot of industries out there that are seeing growth. I believe that when you invest, you should look into opportunities and industries that have growth chances in the future. So thinking about the economy and how it's evolving, I think is a good first step for anybody that wants to invest for their
And I
future.
think what I'm also hearing is that not only should you be getting information word of mouth, but you should be doing your research. You need to read the news, you need to read information and try to absorb as much as you possibly can to know which direction the wind is blowing. We've been talking a lot about investments, but you as a money coach, as a financial planner, it's not just investments that you coach people on, but you also teach them just how to manage their money. So in the next couple of minutes, maybe you could tell us what is the best way for someone to manage their money to make sure not too much is going out, but that they are maintaining, being able to maintain their bills, being able to maintain a roof over the head, and so on and so forth.
Yes. So whenever we have a new client, the first thing that we look into is their cash flow. So how much, like money is coming in and what type of expenses that they have. And if we can start to control them and give them some sort of a structure so that they can start to control the way that the money is going out of their, of their household, I think it helps a lot, because we could be great investors, but if we don't save any of our earnings, then it's going to be hard to attain our goals. So that's the first step, is to take a look at and have a good idea of where the money is going. And then once we know that, is to understand again what our plan is and what we want to accomplish, make sure that we have enough cash on hand so that if we need some money, so maybe we need to fix our cars or there's some maintenance on the home, that we have some cash that we can use instead of selling some investments that should be there to grow over time. So it's just to be a little bit more systematic and having a good plan on hand to make sure that we can let our investments do their thing.
Yes, systematic and pragmatic. You want to put the most important things at the top of your priority list, and some of those other things that you were hoping to spend your money on. Now we've got the holidays coming up, so perhaps we're going to see people pinching their pennies a little bit more, do you think?
Well, I would say if they're unsure of their future, if their job, might be, at risk, it might be a good thing to kind of slow down on some of these expenses and raise cash. Cash is king. So whenever we see a lot of risk and we see a lot of things that could change in our life, having that cushion on hand, I think is a great thing to have.
Sounds good. Patrick Traverse, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, and have a great day.